That was weird. My internet crashed for a second there. But I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, that was weird. So where was I? Yeah, so here's my low poly. I got everything unwrapped, packed, to the best of my ability anyway. And I think it's okay. Definitely some issues that if you're a really good character modeler, you'll probably spot right away. But I mean, the kind of the purpose of this for me was to do something for Halloween, as well as kind of step out of my comfort zone and do something a little more character related and organic. So what I did was I have a low poly and I exported it. Export. Actually, I already, let me let's open that up. Not this guy, this one. Exports. I have a low poly and I also have a high poly. This is the low poly and that's the high poly. And I'm gonna hop over into Marmoset ToolBag and see if we can get these to bake right. I did do a little test on just the pumpkin part and it looked reasonable. But we'll see what it looks like when I use all the parts. So here in Marmoset ToolBag, if you're not familiar with it, it's super easy to use. You just you create a baker, and you can name it if you want. We'll call this Jack-o'-lantern. And this is your first baker. And then you load your mesh, just similar to how you do in Substance Painter. Not very different. It is a little different in regards to the loading both the high and low poly at the same time. And there's Mr. Jack-o'-lantern, all happy and kooky. And I'm gonna delete that guy. And it gives you a default, it either gives you a default material or it uses the one you set to your mesh. And I put the same material, I'll show you real quick here in Blender. The material I have on this guy is called Jack-o'-lantern, and I have the same material applied to all the parts of the low poly. So both meshes have the same material. And you just kind of go through. And the nice thing about Marmoset is it has a visible cage for you. And that'll work. And then I just hide the high poly and then close that folder. And let's see, everything's looking good. So the low poly for the pumpkin. And you just want to make sure that it is encompassing the whole mesh. I'm going to pull it in as tight as it can go. Like, whoops. Nope, I want to go to Marmoset. We'll go to Jack-o'-lantern. And you can see here it's getting some break through the mesh, the cage, excuse me. So what you need to do, or you don't have to, but you just have to slide this max offset slider to make sure you get it where you want. And the best way the way I think about the cage is it's a protective shield for the baking process, and anything that is not inside of that shield or force field will be destroyed. And that's not fun, so don't do that. And then we got the stem. Yeah, you can see here this part is out of the cage. Oh, I got a big part out of the cage here. I think that should be good. Be good for that guy, and then we'll hide the high poly. And the reason I hide the high poly, if you're wondering, is it after you bake it, you don't need to see the high poly, or you don't want it to be blended in with what you're viewing, so you just kind of hide it. And I put the teeth into two different groups so that their cages wouldn't intersect with each other, kind of like a checkerboard pattern. I'm gonna go ahead and say that looks fine. And that looks fine. All right, so now all we have visible is the low poly. And we're gonna go to the bake group. And a good rule of thumb whenever you're baking anything is to just do a test bake. So we'll just go ahead and do a quick test of just the normals. Here in my map options, I'm only asking it to bake the normal map. And it's only at 2K. And if you're in here and you're wondering why it's not doing anything, just hit this little P, it's like the preview button, and it applies that for you. That looks pretty solid. I was worried about that. I didn't, if you look here in my low poly, I got a little lazy here. I should have added another loop, but it was getting so high poly, not so high poly, but it was just getting hard to handle, and unwrapping is hard enough on its own. But I'll deal with that later. You're never really gonna see that part anyway, hopefully. All right, so I think we're safe to do a full bake. I already had this set to 64, the samples. We'll set it all the way to 64. We will jump this up to 4K. And I'm going to ask it to bake the thickness, position, curvature, we got ambient occlusion. I want the vertex color for the color ID map. And what else do I want? I think that's it. So so you just kind of tick those on. Not too dissimilar to Substance Painter. I'm gonna add cavity. And I'm just gonna, I think we'll just explore occlusion. No, we don't need that. All right, so This may slow the stream down. So if it starts getting bogged down, that's what it is. It's just the baking process. So bear with me. I'm not leaving. It's just my GPU being taxed by Marmoset. Go. I mean, the combination of streaming and doing any kind of digital content is pretty taxing on your computer. Excuse me. I really like the way Marmoset does everything. I feel like it's pretty quick. All things considered how many different maps you're baking and the resolution and the samples. It's pretty quick. The ambient occlusion and the thickness, I've noticed, are the two that take the longest. I'm gonna try to should be pretty easy because it's something that I'm fairly decent at now. Besides, I'm gonna make a little diorama presentation platform to put this guy on. Oh, I think we're done. Wow, that was a little quicker than I expected it to be. There we go. Boom. All right. That looks solid. See if let's try a different sky real quick. Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. Not bad. Not bad at all. Little wonky here. The stem looks pretty good. The teeth and the eyes are great. Do this as a color. A little darker. That looks pretty good. And you can see when I click on it, it's just the low poly. Marmoset does triangulate it automatically, so let me save this. Jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. Bake. Save. Okay. Let me launch Painter. Let's see. Maybe I can drop some textures on this guy real quick. Oops, it's on my other monitor here. I'm here. Go file, new project. Select my mesh. Just the low. And let's see. We'll do this at 2K. Open GL. And since I baked those maps, I'm going to use those instead of baking them in Painter. Oop. There's Mr. Happy. Then you just kind of apply. Sometimes it does it on its own, I noticed. Yeah, like Must have something to do with the naming convention I use. It doesn't put all of them in there. World space, ID map, occlusion, and curvature. All right. Let's eliminate that. And what I'm going to try to do is use a smart material I made. Yep. Move the mask. This is for wood. A wood texture that I made. So instead of using this brown, I'll try to use the ID map. Hopefully, ooh, but it's scaled too big. Yes. All right, that looks pretty decent. Yeah, see, there's that stretching. I knew that was gonna do that. Oh man, looks like I've got some pretty mean seams here too. I didn't really know where to put the seams because, yeah, like I said, I've never really done anything semi-character related. But I think I can just paint those out. See, just layer. No, I don't want you above everything. Close that. I'll just call this pumpkin so I don't keep getting confused. Pumpkin. And then we'll call this paint over. And I want this to pass through. Yes, pass through. I think I need to isolate the parts I want to paint. Okay, so I want to paint the body. So paint mask. And we'll do a add mask with color selection. I think I can paint out these seams now. With just the cloner guy, relative source. Let me get my stylus. Turn that on or off? Pen pressure. All right, let me look. Never really done much painting in Substance, the Substance designer or painter here. I think it's like Photoshop. Working? Let's see. Go up here. Come on. I think that's working. Brush is huge in here. Let's try cloning it right here. B. Doing anything? No. What's going on? All right, let me try this again. Remove the mask. Got a black mask. And then we will use polygon selection tool. I'm gonna go with mesh selection. And I think whoops. Keep forgetting I don't need to press the. Okay, let me see what I'm. Let me switch it to black. Okay. Okay. I think I know what I did wrong. I think I can paint on this part now with the clone stamp. Let me find out. Let me zoom in here. And we'll see. Oh, sample that. I could have sworn this is how you do that. Or maybe it's the maybe I'm the opposite way. Maybe it's on the pumpkin. Okay, see that's colored there now. Did I right the first time? Right. Okay, there it is. I'm just mixing up. Oh, son of. I'll be right back, guys. I got somebody at my door. Sorry, I'll be right back. Oh, all right. Sorry about that. The delivery. Okay. That does not look like a very good blend. Let's just try to. Oh, that's a little big, guys. Let's just try to blur it. See what that does. I think that'll be acceptable. Yeah, I think we'll be able to use that. That'll be doable. Ooh, this side's pretty terrible though. I might need to I need to attempt to get a better. I have some seams on the teeth, but I'm not too worried about those. I'm gonna try to mix colors a little and then blur them together. I think this will work. I hope it will. I don't understand why it's coming out so much darker than where I'm at. Start up here. It's so dark. That's okay. And now just get the blur tool. Kind of smooth it out. I think that's going to be okay. I'm really up close to it right now, so it looks worse than it actually is. When you zoom out, it just kind of disappears. Yeah, you can't even see it. So we'll just go ahead and keep. I think I might be able to just get away with the blur tool. Yeah, I think so. Blur. Gotta love that. Yeah, that works pretty well. Pretty much gone now. Get this side. A little bit of touch up. Funny, that almost looks like a seam there, but that's just the extrusion edge when I was sculpting it in Zbrush. I think let's see. I think we'll be okay here too. Yeah, that's definitely, it works quite well actually. Pleasantly surprised by how well the blur tool is working. Might be a little harsh here. No, I think we're okay. It just looks like a highlight now. I mean, if you're really worried about it, you could just take it into Photoshop real quick, or whatever your editing program is. And most editing software has pretty good clone stamp, or their version of it now. Getting a little harsh right there. I think we're okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely okay. If you didn't know it was there, you'd never know. And get his little crack here. You know what? Let's try the clone stamp back here. I don't know if I'm just weird, but like this is really fun. I don't know why. Like this is like it's just totally enjoyable. I love the fact that you can just make stuff now. Like one of the reasons I got into trying 3D was let's see, it's a little more digital stuff, was I didn't have to worry about buying all the materials like a canvas. A little bit of pixelation there for some reason. Okay. Wonder why. But I like that you don't have to. It's a bit of an investment at first, but it's so cool that you don't have to set up anything. You don't have to buy paint and like test out what the paint is like or see if it's gonna be safe to use in your house. You know, how big of an area do you need? Those are things that are easy to like overlook. I wonder if I can blur that. Oh, I guess I can. Awesome. Oops. That. Wonder why it's got the stepping. Ain't no thing. Looks like a couple spots have that. A little bit here. Little blur tool to the rescue. It almost adds more character, to be honest. I'm just looking for the parts that are really significant, though, really harsh. I think we're good. Now let's see if I can get this top part fixed. Go back to the clone stamp. Here? Oh, why is it so bright? Why is it painting on the green? Okay, let me look at my mask again. Kidding me? Oh, it's white. There we go. This one. I had that masked out. Further out. I wonder why it's so orange. There. I know it's distorted because the UV is stretched to Kingdom Come right there. That's okay. Whoops. A little bit here. And you just, if you're wondering how you do that, you just hit V over the spot you want to pick the color from. And then you just go ahead and paint. I think that's pretty good for the body. And let's go ahead and I think I need to do the same thing for each one. So let's do another layer and pass through. And we're going to add a black mask. And X to switch it, and we want that part. X, switch to white, there we go. I think that should isolate me to just the stem now. Find out in a second here. Let's get some of this guy right here. Yep. Gotta kind of cheat these stripes. Oops. Maybe hit it with the blur a little. Ooh, I'm gonna have to make that a little smaller. Might be able to just blur that. No. Yeah. Cheat that. Cheat the system. I might need to hit that with the clone test there. Not liking the way that looks. Let's see. Lights on it. And get in here a little bit better. Make it a little bigger. Or a little more ground. Sometimes it's hard to tell where you should pick from. It's a little crevice, so I'm just gonna keep the dark area. Oh, whoops. Not trying to cycle through my maps right now, guys. Sorry, I'm spacing out. It's like it's easier to just kind of like get lost in the paint process. But it's super fun. I do like how well it hides everything. Yeah, that seam is no longer an issue. Get over here, come here. I think I'll be able to just blur over. Oh no, there's a big area of gray here. Let's see. Why I keep doing that? That's the C key. Makes you cycle through all your different maps if you're wondering. The diffuse. What is this one? Height. roughness, metallic, normal, normal height, mesh, mask, base color, all that good stuff. And then you just hit M to go back to your full material. All right, I think I'm gonna blur this a little now. Oh, the brush is it's like there's a way to make it so it doesn't adjust its size automatically, but I forget how you do that. Let me take the blur brush to this area. I'm gonna mix this together. Why did it do that? Why? Why? Oh, well, whatever. That's gonna be okay. All right, there's the stem, the stalk, or the vine. I think it's a vine. Eyes have a little bit of seam there. Let me check my map here, see if... Yeah, see, that's masked out. There's no reason I should be pulling from that at all. Oh, well. Maybe if I put this underneath. Now let me try. I'm definitely pulling from it. That's okay though, I think. Because the stalk kind of grows into the pumpkin anyway. All right. Need to move on. Moving on. Moving on. Wasting time here. I think we're pretty good there. Teeth could use a little love. Let me get the really bad spots real quick. Mask. F1? Yeah. Let's just go. Okay, everything is masked, and I don't want that. Nope, not that part. I want... Oh, no. I want the teeth. Let's see, I think these little guys are the teeth. I probably could have done a better... I mean, obviously, you could have done a better job packing this, but... I think it is going to look fine for the purposes that I'm using it for. Go to M. I think I can just kind of blur the edges here. Should be fine. Oh, saving. Saving you from yourself. Oh, that's what auto-saving should be called. Oh, okay. That's the top. To paint that one. But I'll get back to that. Let's see if we can see this happening. Oh, I don't have it on. There we go. Hello. I was like, why is nothing happening? Oh no. Okay, what? Why does it pull from the orange? I'm not going to use the 2D view. I'm just going to hit what's visible. Call it a day. There. Definitely makes quick work of these problems though. It's all things considered, it's very very easy to eliminate these things. Let me get rid of that orange that I pulled into there. I'm not sure why it does that. I've masked that part off of the layer. From what I understand, it shouldn't be able to pull from that, but something to be explained by somebody who knows. Not me, unfortunately. Gotta fix your grill, Mr. Pumpkin. It's all busted. You got a lot of creases in your grill. I think that's pretty good. I don't see any major ones. Teeth look good. You know what? I'm going to select the eyes. And just kind of get rid of those. Just to make me a little happier. Make Mr. Happy here happier. I think we're good. I think we are good. Give him some love. Let's see. F10. Yeah, that is one excited looking pumpkin. Let's see. I don't think there are any, no parameters. Color correction? Depth of field, do we need that? No. Tone mapping, glare. Lens distortion, oh yeah, buddy. Let me go back to this. Let me make that background a little bit. Make it blue or maybe green. So it has a little more a Halloween vibe. And let's see. I really wish there was like a better studio setup in here so you could like really do stuff. Scale HDR. Glare. Try that bloom. Bloom! don't think he's gonna have too much glare. Oh, there it is. There it is. Did you see it? One little speckle for our buddy here. I kind of wanted to try to give the eyes an emission so that they're glowing. All right, let's see. All right, enough derping around. Shader settings, subsurface skin. The subsurface to be like, I'm not even sure how that works, to be honest. Oh, that's a good shot right there. Let's render that Mr. Happy out. Let's sun. Right about there. And just a bit more. Let's get super close to Mr. Buddy here. All right. Oh, I got a seam. Why do I not see it here? Did you guys see that? Let's see that. Yeah, you see it right there? Where is that? Middle tooth. Why am I not seeing it? Blur. Blur. Right, now I gotta go through the trouble of... Oh, you know what it is? It's my mesh. Because it's so low poly, I think that's what it is. That's all right. Nobody getting mad about that. Really is a shame that NVIDIA doesn't make iRay free for everybody. It is really quick. All right, let's let me see. What does that do? Dude, that looks terrible. We don't want that. We don't need that, guys. Let's do 10 samples. And we'll do 20 seconds. Let's see how nice. Override the viewport resolution. We'll go to 1080p. Wait for that guy to render. Meanwhile, I'll get a drink. Done. And I say that looks pretty good. I'm gonna save this guy. Oh, nope, not the jack-o'-lantern. See some of this process there. Lantern. iRay. Right, that looks pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think there's anything else I can do that'll make that look any better. I wonder how you do shadows. Maybe it's in this one. Settings. Shader settings, quality. Let's see what happens when I go to out. Brush. Play. Do that. All right, let's see what that does. Nothing. All right, guys. I am gonna call it. I just really wanted to get this guy in a substance painter. I think it turned out okay. With that said, I am going to call it a night. Over the weekend, I'm gonna try to. I think I'll be able to get it done. I'm gonna make a little diorama to set this guy on. You know, just like thinking like some cobblestones and maybe a tombstone in the background, little skull on the side or something cartoony and simple. And then try to play around in Eevee and do some lighting and rendering. I definitely need a lot of work with lighting and rendering. It's probably my weakest area right now. But, you know, just like anything else, it's a work in progress. All right. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and everybody who's been following along. As usual, if you have questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the questions and comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not an expert, but if I know the answer or if I know where you can find the answer, I will definitely let you know. And if you have any pointers or critiques from me, don't be shy. Feel free to leave them in the comments. All right, gang. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to do a little game stream. So if you're into that, feel free to join. And as usual, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if not, that's okay too. Have a good weekend, guys. Peace.